right, time for an episode of Buffus the Bacchae Slayer.
The play's not bad. I just don't buy that Xena.
There's the opening of Buffus the Bacchae Slayer across the street.
That was such a great Xena reference. This show remastered so well because it was shot well. Hey, did The Room ever get remastered? That's like a weird random question.
I don't know if it did.
I don't think it would do anything to save the movie, but it was
No.
it was shot decently.
Hello.
I like how the sound under added wind here. It's like a nice subtle touch that adds to the atmosphere. And after Buffy, there were so many shows that tried to copy Buffy or be Buffy. Like the show Charmed was literally greenlit to compete with Buffy specifically. I think I told you this before, but there are actually like enough courses that Buffy studies is considered a thing like in colleges. Because this show mythologized such a wide range of topics.
Huh. I don't think I actually heard of that one. Or at least not specifically the term Buffy studies. Oh dang, that wardrobe has over 10 hues.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the 90s sound of it all.
And honey, try not to get kicked out. I promise.
Joyce is kind of consistently a bad mom throughout the show, but we're supposed to believe she's a good mom. But she's a boomer, so it kind of makes sense.
At least she's consistent.
She's a boomer parent.
You're not seeing the big picture here. I mean, that gym was full of vampire... asbestos.
Any other school?
Asbestos
Vampire
vampires.
asbestos.
One reason I say that this show really can't be remade is because Joss Whedon has distinct genius
Hello?
that, with regards to dialogue, that comes from like years of studying theater and classic literature and punchy Hollywood dialogue. Like, literally, he has his own language all of his own that he brings to his work.
Anybody's here.
Can I help you?
I was looking for some, well...
Yes, I was looking at this ad for weapons.
Oh my god. So even if I don't particularly like Joss Whedon as a person, what he brings to the series is one of the things that makes it great.
Gee, everyone wants to know about me. How keen?
Well, not much goes on in a one Starbucks town like Sunnydale. You're pretty big news.
God.
She's not hanging out with us.
I think I take it for granted how long Starbucks has actually been
I
around.
don't mean to interrupt your downward mobility.
Well, were there any marks?
Morbid much? Ask.
Buffy, the first true crime YouTuber. And of course, Xena's success helped pave the way for Buffy, because there was suddenly demand for, like, genre fare with empowered female leads, that whole kind of thing.
Yes.
Succubi, everything you've ever dreaded was under your bed, but told yourself couldn't be by the light of day. They're all real.
What? You like Sent Away for the Time Life series?
Yes.
Joss Whedon was really like a master of brevity around the time he made this show. Like, he's fantastic at seamlessly delivering exposition. I really feel for Buffy, because over the course of the series, the major thrust is like the loss of her innocence, as she comes to understand more about the world around her. Kind of like Gabrielle, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm an enormous slut. Hello, would you like a copy of The Watchtower? Hey, actually...
Oh, not too nurturing. I know, you're 16. I've read all about the dangers of over-nurturing.
It is. From now on, I'm only going to hang out with the living. I mean...
It throws me that Joyce apparently read all of these, like, self-help parenting books, and yet is still terrible. She's like one of those people who learns therapy speak and then, like, weaponizes it. She's like, yes, I know you're a screw-up and a burden, but I'm nice about it. Also the hippy-dippy positive energy stuff. You just hold on to those crystals, Joyce.
Oh, crystal time, crystal. Believe! I believe in the power
You just have to charge those crystals.
Just keep your chakra open. Oh my god, David Boreanaz. He was such a snack.
What happened to unsnackify him?
I mean, he kind of still is, but more in like a dad bod kind of way now. Less a Leonardo DiCaprio kind of way.
Alright.
The same thing you do.
God, this was such a metrosexual era for men. I think men's fashion slowly went wrong after 9/11 for a while. Like, men started looking like Shaggy Rogers and like growing their hair out and wearing these fucking giant sweaters. It was just hideous, hideous. God, this is like me at every club I've been to.
Seize the moment, because tomorrow you might be dead. I'll be back in a minute.
Willow had big U energy at the start of the series. It's so interesting to look back at the start and also see how much Buffy's style changed.
Oh, right. This is me having fun. Watching clown hair prance about is hardly
Fatigue syndrome. I mean, nobody cool has Epstein-Barr anymore.
But yeah, Buffy's fashion at the start is like a lot more effusive and changes over time as her character arc happens. That's one of the interesting qualities of the show to me.
Cordelia! God! What is your childhood trauma? Excuse me, I have to call everyone I have ever met right now.
Well done. I need to go to the library. This
Cordelia's my spirit animal, definitely. Me when I just finished a cup of Kool-Aid.
Master.
It's kind of funny, this religious angle for vampires is like mainly relegated to the first season. I think probably because it was kind of dry. Like, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of religious elements in the series, but honestly a lot of vampires live like bums. For kind of obvious reasons, like, a lot of them are in the sewers and shit.
Hey, you're leaving already?
Oh, Sandra, have you seen Willow?
It's revealed later in this series that there are like 12 graveyards in Sunnydale.
It's a lot of dead people.
Yeah, it's a pretty high mortality rate.
You have to wonder why. You have to wonder how it's still around.
I mean, people in Sunnydale are like vaguely aware of it, but they just don't talk about it.
Adult content.
By the way, Sarah Michelle Gellar is a brown belt, so she was actually able to do
Happens when you roughhouse.
a lot of her own stunts.
Don't go far.
Wow.
That was one of the appeals of casting her. She actually initially auditioned to be Cordelia, but this role made her an icon.
Crazy how things play out.
Remember when Santa Claus came to town? That was because of the hell meth. Actually, Santa Claus does exist in the Buffyverse, but it's actually Krampus.
Well, he doesn't traditionally bring presents so much as, you know, disembowel children, but otherwise.
The reindeer part was nice.
So here's a fun detail about Darla. She really likes to LARP as a Catholic. And I'll reveal this detail because it's not actually revealed in the Buffy TV series. It's revealed in the spin-off Angel. Darla was a whore before she became a vampire. So she has like a pointed...
Alright.
Yeah, so she has like a pointed dislike for Christians is the thing. The spin-off series actually lasted a while too. Angel lasted 5 seasons.
This world is older than any of you know.
Wow.
Killing some, mixing their blood with others to make more of their kind. Waiting for the animals to die out, and the old ones to return.
So that's another cool detail. Other demons actually look down on vampires because they have human DNA mixed in with them. They're viewed as like unclean demons as a
Hmm.
Oh, also, I just kind of want to note for me, you know, rather in general, one of the appeals of the series was characters wearing like crosses and everything and black fit into the pop gothic aesthetic that was big at the time.
Yeah.
Crosses? I wouldn't wear one if I were a human. They're like so last year.
Here in this house of worship.
The master was the first Reddit atheist.
I looked around, but as soon as I got clear of the graveyard, they could have just boom.
They can fly?
They can drive.
Oh, another fun detail for you to chew on. Joss Whedon knew that he either wanted Xander or Willow to turn out to be gay, and one of them did, so I'll just let you chew on that.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
The author Jenny Trout points out something really funny about computers in the TV series. Just about any time you see a character on a computer, it's going to be Willow using the computer. I'm in.
Well, she is the one pigeonholed into the nerd niche.
Yeah.
I'm inadequate. That's fine. I'm less than man.
Buffy, I'm not anxious to go into a dark place.
A lot of people don't like Xander at the start of the series because he brings with him a lot of like, I'm a nice guy gender politics with him. Oh, that's another thing. Giles hates computers. Hates them.
Computers killed my family. Saw it happen before my eyes.
Oh my
god. My mom
God.
waited too long for dial-up internet.
Oh my gosh. No, it's because he's like older and British. There were a lot of people who weren't using computers around this time. It was new media.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they do things in Britain. They've got the royal family and all kinds of problems, but here in the that's the Buffy Summers I want in my school. Sensible girl with her feet on the ground.
Brain of toads. Do you think they have anything like that in the paper?
I'll put it on the computer search. If it's in there, turn up.
Maybe the papyrus.
Look, this is just too much. I mean, yesterday my life's like, uh-oh, pop quiz. Today it's rain of toads.
I know. And everyone else thinks it's just a normal day.
Nobody knows. It's like we've got this big secret.
We do. That's what a secret is.
I'm pretty sure Madoka and Sayaka had this exact conversation in Madoka Magica.
You mean we?
You're a magical girl, Xander. Nicholas Brendan had such keen insight into Xander's character with regards to the fact that he keyed in pretty quickly that Xander was like a self-insert for Joss Whedon at the start. Joss Whedon is like a deeply insecure person, partly because of his apparent emotional abuse from his parents. And Nicholas Brendan brings like his own sense of insecurity to the role in the sense that he was like sexually abused in high school, and you know, I know more than anybody how much that can like destabilize your personality.
Yeah.
Buffy itself is a really interesting modular chock-a-block because it also draws inspiration from like Highlander and the X-Files and things like that. It makes it very interesting to break apart. Not just the fact that like so referential in the dialogue, like there's so much personality and character, like a lot of subtext that you can break apart. Like just a small example that would you like a copy of the Watchtower bit from earlier.
Yeah.
This show also has just like amazing foreshadowing and continuity. Like it had a very impressive series Bible.
I followed you. I couldn't just sit at home and do nothing.
I understand. Now go away.
No.
Wait, but you wouldn't be sitting at home. You'd be at school.
There was this time I was pinned down by this guy that played left tackle for varsity. Well, at least he used to before he was a vampire. Anyway, he had this really, really thick neck, and all I had was a little X-Acto knife. You're not knowing this story.
For they will gather and be gathered.
Oh, such a cool transition. Very old Hollywood. Like, people joke about Joss Whedon's dialogue now. They kind of like because of the MCU, they boil it down to, he's right behind me, isn't it? But they underestimate, like, the character of his dialogue at its very best.
She's doing something else.
So that blonde girl is Harmony, and she's one of my favorite characters in the Buffyverse. She appears in Buffy and in Angel.
Hey.
How do we save it?
Deliver.
Deliver? Where's that? Oh.
It's cool. Buffy's a superhero.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. So that's a consistent frame brought to her character. Because Joss Whedon also wound up he's like always been a big comics superhero fan. He uses a lot of those references in the series too. And he wound up writing for comics like X-Men.
It's really cool.
So it's only fitting that he wound up directing the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
The music also grows a lot as the series goes on. Like, by the end of the show, the music is absolutely amazing, but it's a little bit simpler at the start, melodically. I also figured this was a good time to watch this, now that Michelle Trachtenberg, who starred in the show later on, has passed away.
Sad to hear.
Yeah, and she was only 38, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
I actually don't remember all the details. Let me double check quickly. Diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Several months before, there were a rash of murders.
Great. I mean, well, not great in a good way. Go on.
You know, Buffy is kind of similar to Xena in the sense that it was actually only meant to last 5 seasons and then got renewed for 2 more. You know, the main composer for Buffy actually wound up doing, like, other notable stuff too, like he became the composer for Frozen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the composer for Free Guy.
It's a huge leap.
Elsa the Vampire Slayer.
Every soul he takes will feed me.
I could just imagine her saying "Let It Go" as like some kind of one-liner.
It is funny to me how vampires, like, they hate Christianity but, like, ape this stuff, like the Ash Wednesday thing with the blood on the forehead.
Wait a minute, that looks like a car logo.
If there are any cars with teeth killing people.
If you don't go out, it'll be the end of the world. Everything is life or death when you're a 16-year-old girl.
I don't have time to talk about
That's such an excellent encapsulation of the thesis for the early version of the show. It really definitely combines, like, real-life social and emotional problems with supernatural ones. Another note, when Buffy puts on the leather jacket, you know she's serious. That's one thing I love about this show, the leather jackets. I mean, the jackets in general, I mean. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, in hindsight, why she had the communion wafers and the garlic, because she never uses them. I guess if I'm on a diet, they make for a good, like, impromptu snack. The garlic, too, just in case you need some seasoning on the side.
Senior boys, they have mystery. They have, what's the word I'm searching for? Cars. I'm just not the type to settle. I have to have the most expensive thing. Not because it's expensive, but because it costs more. Miss Mattermouse, can I just be finished? Oh, I love this song. Come on.
One thing I really do appreciate about Cordelia is that she says exactly what she's thinking. She's honest.
What do you want?
Let me decrypt that trick for you really quick. So they actually seemingly used a double for Justy and had him out of focus in the background. So when the actor playing him popped up there, it looks like he used his vampire super speed. Very cool practical effect.
Mm-hmm.
I love that kind of shit as a filmmaker. But that's also an example of, like, the show's very complicated gender stuff. I mean, to me it makes it more interesting, but there's, like, a lot of debate over, like, that example. Cordelia doesn't show interest in him until he stops being, like, nice to her and just asserts that he's going to get what he wants. There can often be kind of an undertone in the show that sex is the real villain, which obviously isn't unusual for horror fare.
Yeah, and
Well-
vampires themselves have had sexual associations.
In particular, like male sexuality, it's like complicated, but to me that also makes it interesting, because if it was just like simple and didactic, it wouldn't really be as interesting to talk
Jesse is
about.
dead. You have to remember that when you see him, you're not looking at your friend. You're looking at the thing that killed him.
Oh yeah, so that's something important to keep in mind also. When people become vampires, the soul quite literally leaves their body. And a new consciousness takes over that just takes the memories of the person that they had been before. I felt like mentioning it though because of like the caress he did on the bouncer.
Yeah.
I like to think the vampire manning the lighting got like a theater degree when he was still alive. And this was like the one chance he ever got to use it for anything. And Buffy just took that away from him. Because I have taken lighting classes. It's not a simple thing to man a spotlight.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty hard when you're not a man anymore.
Heads up.
Hold still! You're not making this easy.
Jesse, man. Don't make me do it.
Buddy.
I always wanted to
Yeah.
kill a slayer.
More of the sex being tied to vampirism thing. Like it's framed like he's about to sexually assault her.
Get off of it!
The stock scream. She got the Wilhelm treatment.
You forget. Metal can't hurt me.
There's something you forgot about too. Sunrise. It's in about 9 hours, moron.
It's also not strictly true at all that metal can't hurt a vampire. Like, Buffy uses swords and shit also. You can slice off a vampire's head. It's a thing.
I mean, yeah, she already did that in this episode.
Exactly. That was fucking metal simple.
The Earth is doomed.
Alright, John. Thank you so much for streaming.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.